I want to talk about art and alchemy. Okay, I always tell you guys that all is alchemy anyway, but art is a creative way to express the inner self, to express what you're feeling, joy, happiness, solitude, freedom, fear, anxiety, depression, anxious attachment, whatever. Art is a beautiful way to express how you're feeling inward and project it outside, because you want to get that out. You want to express. Okay? What humans tend to do is they take this and this energy that's inward, that's inside of them, and they project it outwardly, and sometimes that looks like being a jealous ass, hating ass hoe to other people. Sometimes it looks like creating multiple children because you're trying to express this energy. Sometimes it looks like busting the windows out of Daquan's car. Why you did that? All right. Sometimes it looks like fighting, you know? Y'all love to see that on social media, but I get it. It's entertaining. I get it. And on like the networks and stuff like that. But I get it. It's entertaining. Cool. No judgment. But there are other ways that you can express yourself. When you're angry, you don't always have to fight. You don't always have to call up the person and cuss them out that you're angry at. You don't always have to do that. You can do other things, okay? Because your actions, the way that you react to things in this reality is it's very important to be mindful of the way that you act within this realm. It's very important. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I think you do need to give somebody a good tongue lashing sometimes when they've done one too many things. Like I'm all for a good tongue lashing. However, what I understand about this place, this vessel that we're in, is that this world is that your actions really do matter. And it's best to be logical within this realm. As far as acting, when you're acting out, it's best to be logical, at least for the majority of the time. Okay? When it comes to these emotions, again, back to anger. People are so angry right now. You're wrapped up in anger and you're thinking about injustices and all the things, and instead of expressing them in a way that will get you caught up with the law, get you even more angry, even more upset, turning into something physical, soccer bopper, you know? I'm showing my age. But anyway, there are other outlets like art. And let me factor in this with art, okay? Don't expect for everyone to understand your art. When I was younger, I would paint. When I was in high school, I would paint things, and I would paint how I was feeling on the inside, and I would project it onto the canvas. And people would say things like I was evil or my art was demonic and things like that. And I would never explain myself. I would never explain my art. That's one thing and still to this day, I never will. I will never explain my artwork. But I remember having someone for the first time understand my artwork and take a deeper dive into my work, and notice that I was painting hurt, and I was painting depression, and I was painting and projecting onto the paper how I was feeling, how others made me feel. That's what was in my work. Okay, so that, I don't even know why I'm telling you that, but anyway, that expression is for you. This creative expression is for you to express yourself. And then too, like, why not get paid? You create a work of art, maybe you create a song and you get paid for it. Maybe you create an oil painting and you get paid for it. There's an artist, I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. I'm gonna link him to Madonna. He used to date Madonna back in the day. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, but they used to say that a lot of his work was demonic and it's evil and all this thing and all these things. But for me, looking at his artwork, I saw someone who felt or who dealt with a lot of injustice. I saw someone who was plagued by feelings of just wanting to burst out and be authentically themselves. That's what I saw in the work. I also saw prophecies in the work, things that are going on. Why can't I think of his name? Jean. Is that his name? Jean. But things that are going on right now, this man was projecting into his artwork. Things that were going on behind the scenes in the, in the Ivy Leagues, with the big boys. He projected onto his canvases, and people today still say, oh, this work is demonic and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm just saying that to say this. You don't have to explain your art. People are going to have an opinion. I gotta stop cussing. People are going to have an opinion about your art, but this is your creative outlet, okay? This is another thing. Just like people go to the gym, and a lot of people will say, they've said it on this platform, on many platforms, but specifically on TikTok, gym goers will say all the time, oh, I work out because I'm depressed. So I work out so I won't punch somebody in the face. Like, they say it all the time. That's their creative outlet to create. That's how Source chooses to create in that body. You catch where I'm going? You catch what I'm putting down? Literally, instead of punching somebody in the face, you're gonna go to the gym, mazel. Okay? Instead of possibly really hurting somebody really bad, you're gonna pick up a paintbrush. You see what I'm saying? Alchemy. Lemonade out of the lemons. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, that's alchemy. Who invented that? I'm gonna make lemonade out of lemons or lemons out of lemon, whatever, but that's alchemy. Okay? I love you, bye.